Russo's Playbook.
All right, you guys know what time it is. Another episode of Russo's NFL Rundown here on Russo's Playbook. This is going to be our draft special, as we just had the NFL draft end yesterday. It was a good one. Had some very good picks, very questionable picks. So I got some quick headlines I wanted to run down, and then as well as some in-depth analysis of some teams. And then we got the winners and losers, the players and teams as well. Some may have lost their spot. Some teams may have drafted poorly. We'll get into that. But let's kick it off. So we had the Bears trading up to get Justin Fields. Love the player, hate the team he went to. We had the Eagles trade up with the Cowboys to take Devontae Smith. In division trade, Cowboys, that's questionable, man, because now you're going to be facing Devontae Smith twice a year. So that's going to be rough for you, but that's a great pickup by the Eagles. They definitely need some help with a wide receiver, and that'll definitely shore that up. And then you had the Bengals choose Jamar Chase, the wide receiver, over Penei Sewell. I thought that was extremely questionable. I'll touch on that in some in-depth analysis in a little. We had the Panthers taking J.C. Horn. Wasn't a bad pick, a little surprising. I thought they'd go O-lineman, but J.C. Horn's a phenomenal player. And then we had the Cowboys take Micah Parsons. That's a filthy pick. He's going to be an animal for them. So I'm excited to watch that. We had the Patriots staying pat and choosing Mac Jones. I'm not a fan. I know when Hunter comes on for the weekly on Wednesday, he'll let you know how he feels. He's definitely in love with the pick, but I don't see Mac Jones being that guy. I really don't. I mean, truthfully, it just looks like they wanted to remodel the Tom Brady. Doesn't look like an athlete, and he'll just come in and just be a game manager, gunslinger, you know what I'm saying? But he's not going to be mobile. He's not going to be a lead in that aspect. But he will. I mean, he's got an arm. Come on. He played at Alabama for a reason. But at the same time, when was the last time Alabama quarterbacks, or Ohio State quarterbacks, as a matter of fact, come out to be good? So it's been a while. So that's to me, it's a questionable pick. But I know a lot of people love it. And then we had the Jets trading up to take Elijah Vera Tucker, 14th pick, trading up with the Vikings. That was awesome to see. They definitely need some help. I know some Jets fans were not happy with it, but I don't get how you're not happy with it. They traded up to protect the quarterback that they drafted at 2. It's as simple as that. You can't go into the season with the same O-line, and they didn't. They drafted somebody that's going to be 10 times better. And he's going to be next to Becton on that left side of the line. I think it's a phenomenal pickup. And you trade up to get the player you want. He was in their top 10, on their top 10 board. And you got him at 14 by trading up. That's a beautiful pick. But let's get some in-depth analysis of some teams. First, I wanted to talk about the Packers, who are in some trouble right now as reports come out right before the draft that Aaron Rodgers won't play for them anymore. He wants to be traded, or as the report said, he'll consider retirement. I said a few weeks ago, when he started doing Jeopardy, filling in that 1 week, I brought up the fact that what if he does get fed up with the Packers? What if he doesn't want to deal with their nonsense anymore and decides to, retire, call it quits? You want to draft Jordan Love instead of giving me some help? Have fun training him. Have fun preparing him to be the second Aaron Rodgers. It's not going to happen. And there's already reports Jordan Love wouldn't even be ready this year still. I mean, the fact that you wasted that first-round pick on somebody that wouldn't be ready by year 2, or at least to test him, being able to play him, simply because you have Aaron Rodgers already, there was just absolutely no need for it. So, with that being said, their first-round pick, after Rodgers is unhappy, is to draft a cornerback. This isn't the Stop That segment. Packers, stop that. That's absolutely ridiculous. You literally laughed in his face and then smacked him and then laughed in his face again. How can you sit here and say, no, we want you, you're our guy, we're going to get whatever you need, and then you go cornerback? Cornerback. Are you kidding me? That it has to be a joke. They don't have any real clue as to what they're getting themselves into. Because I can guarantee, maybe not guarantee, let me slow down a little bit. I can say that I feel confident that Aaron Rodgers has established himself enough to not care if he comes back or not for them. If he really doesn't want to play for them anymore and he came out and said that, I believe him. And I think that he will consider retirement if they don't trade him or at least fix it. I mean, they went in, I believe it was the second or third round, they drafted Amari Rodgers, the wide receiver out of Clemson. That's a good pickup. But it's not your number one sidekick next to Devontae Adams. It's not going to take true pressure off of them, Aaron Rodgers or Adams, year one. I mean, you could have went first round Rashad Bateman, Rondell Moore. I mean, you could have gotten plenty of people to fill that spot round one and be an elite starter off bat round one. So that was questionable to me. They're going to be in. We'll definitely keep up with that news, break any news that we see. We'll let you guys know. I'm sure we'll talk about it more during the week. But let's move on to the Giants. Now, look, for all my Giants fans, round one, you trade back, go Kadarius Toney with the wide receiver. I love it. Round two, you go outside linebacker, Azeez Ojulari. I love it. Love the two picks. But then round three comes, and you pick a cornerback. And that's where you lost me, because you made these moves in free agency to shore up your cornerbacks. You have starting caliber cornerbacks right now to play for this season at least. And you passed up on starting caliber O-linemen on the board. Wyatt Davis, Ohio State. Quinn Marinez, Wisconsin Whitewater. Kendrick Green from Illinois. All three of them will most likely be day one starters. And they went in rounds 3, 4, and 5. It fell somewhere around there. I don't get how you don't pick one of them. You didn't even go lineman the whole draft. That's astonishing to me. You got rid of Zettler. You don't know what Nate Solder is. Will Hernandez has dealt with injuries, inconsistent play. You needed interior O-line, and you didn't address it. Let's just hope it doesn't come back to bite him. Because if Daniel Jones has all these weapons and he can't get the ball to any of them because his O-line is still crap, that's a problem. Dave Gettleman's job is on the line with that. And you didn't. For me, listen. If you guys think the younger guys from last year can step up, so be it. If that's what you think, that's what you think. Because I agree. Like Jets players that are young and I believe in them. I get it. But you gotta pick a starting caliber O-lineman if he's sitting there round 3 and 4. You gotta do it. You have to. There is absolutely no reason why you would go. And I got the picks with me. So you went receiver, linebacker, cornerback, linebacker, running back, cornerback. You couldn't get an O-lineman in one of those picks? From rounds 3 to 6. You had 4 picks there. You didn't think to get a starting caliber O-lineman. That fell. Deontay Brown fell to the 6th round. He is going to be starting for the Panthers. Fell to the 6th round. Wyatt Davis was 3rd round, I believe. Who I was saying. Quinn Marinez went to 3rd, 4th round. Kendrick Green went to the Steelers 3rd or 4th round. I mean, there is starting caliber players there that you passed up on. And that's questionable to me. Very questionable to me. And then I kind of touched on it before, but the Bengals. I think they let Joe Burrow get in their head. Sad to say, but I think Joe Burrow wanted his former college teammate and receiver, Jamar Chase. And that's what they did to make him happy. Only problem is he ain't going to be happy if he ain't playing because he's injured because he has no O-line to protect him. Jamar Chase is going to be elite. He's going to be a great receiver, Pro Bowl, All-Pro. He's going to get there 100%. But you got to get him the ball. You got to get protection for Burrow. I get you drafted Carmen Jackson, I believe, from Clemson. But that's not going to do it. That's not going to cut it. You could have had the top O-lineman, the best O-lineman in the draft. And you chose a receiver instead at number 5. Very, very questionable to me. Definitely not the choice I would have went. I know Bengals fans that are happy, though, of course. So if they think that's a good pick, that's their decision. That's their choice. Everybody gets a opinion. But for me, I mean, O-lineman was number 1 on their list. And they waited to address it. I thought that was questionable. But nonetheless, let's move into some winners and losers of the NFL draft. We'll start with the winners, of course. So we got the Browns. The Browns were I am in love with their draft. They did an amazing job. At round 1, pick 26, they got Greg Newsome, cornerback Northwestern. He's a starter right away, plug and play. Then you got round 2, Jeremiah Owusu-Kamore, linebacker Notre Dame, plug and play. That's a starter right there. Anthony Schwartz, he'll help on special teams. He's a receiver out of Auburn, round 3. He can help, like I said, special teams, and he'll even get some plays. He'll even get some plays on offense as well. He's a playmaker. You got James Hudson, some depth at offensive tackle. And then another good one that I thought fell really late, Demetric Felton, wide receiver / running back. He's kind of small, but he's fast, electric, out of UCLA. I mean, that guy right there, he could play any position. I believe they came out and said they want him at running back. But, I mean, he could go wide receiver, running back, jet sweeps. I mean, the wide receiver screens, running back screens. He could do it all, man. And he's going to be electric for that offense. And also, I think with them going Anthony Schwartz and Demetric Felton, I think OBJ might be on the block. I don't know. Those are some real depth pieces that could come up and make plays for you right away. So, something to look out there. My second winner of the draft would have to be the Panthers. I mean, you had belief in Sam Darnold, so you traded for him. And then you surrounded him with talent like the Jets couldn't do. So you got J.C. Horn, which obviously is defense, but that shores up cornerback 100%. Then you got Terrence Marshall Jr., wide receiver out of LSU. That's a huge pickup for them. Brady Christensen, the offensive tackle out of BYU. Huge. He'll be a starter for sure at that offensive line. You got Tommy Tremble, a stud tight end out of Notre Dame. He's going to be really good. Chuba Herbert, he's a running back out of Oklahoma State. His draft stock fell this year. He should have came out last year. He probably would have been a first, second round pick. Came back, had some injuries to deal with. He fell in the draft. He's a steal. He comes back 100% healthy. He is a steal. Then you got Keith Taylor, another cornerback. He's a sleeper for sure. He'll probably be more of a special teams depth piece right now. But then they got Deontay Brown, which I was shocked. Dropped to the 6th round. Nobody wanted to pick him up. He is a big dude. He's literally so big he could probably play left tackle and left guard at the same time. I mean, the guy is huge. But he's good. He played Alabama, did not allow a sack in his whole career at Alabama. That right there is astonishing, especially the talent you play in the SEC. So he'll be a starter for sure, in my opinion. He'll come out the gate starting. And then number 3, I got the Jets. I'm a huge fan of what they did this year. You had Zach Wilson at number 2, traded up for Elijah Vera Tucker. He'll play left guard, have some protection for Zach Wilson. Then you went and got Elijah Moore in the 2nd round, who some say was one of the top receivers, top 3 receivers in this draft. Fell to the 2nd round. That's a huge pickup. And then they drafted Michael Carter, the running back out of UNC. That's another big pickup. He'll be a starter. Truthfully, all their first 4 picks are all starters. All going to be starters day 1. And it's great. I mean, they're going to produce. They're going to be good. They're focusing on offense. They're improving. Something they didn't do the last 10 years. I mean, all seriousness, this is the first time since 1967 that they went back-to-back first-round picks in the 1st and 2nd round. That first time, 1967. That's ridiculous. And they're finally changed. This is the change you can see, little by little. Douglas, you could see in the war rooms when they show those videos, just how excited they are. Adam Gase did not even smile when he drafted somebody. Mike McCagnon held a coffee in front of his face the whole time. I mean, this is like a complete 180 to what we had a year ago. It's beautiful to see. I'm happy as a Jets fan. I love the draft. I love what they're building, what they're doing. And I can't wait. I can't wait till NFL Sundays to see it take place. Then we got the Bears on my list for number 4 as a winner. Now, I love the Justin Fields pick because I'm a huge fan of Justin Fields. I'm not so much of a fan of him going to the Bears. It'll give him opportunity to start early if he can. If not, he could sit behind Andy Dalton and learn a little bit. I don't know what you're going to learn much with Andy Dalton, but he could sit and watch. But at the same time, I'm scared they're going to ruin him. I mean, this is the same thing Jets fans would have as well with their quarterbacks. But like the Bears, I don't see Matt Nagy as a quarterback guru or being able to develop some. Because he had Mitch Trubisky. How do you have faith in drafting Mitch Trubisky and then give up on him in a year? And he didn't even play that bad. He was bad, but he didn't play that bad. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I'm definitely questionable on their quarterback strategies. But let's move to the Eagles, man. They had a beautiful draft as well. Devontae Smith trading up with the Eagles to get him. He is going to be a nightmare for the NFC East. I mean, the dude's a stud. And I don't want to hear, oh, he weighs 180 pounds, weighs 100. What? It doesn't matter. If he can ball, he can ball. And that's exactly what he can do, and that's exactly why he won the Heisman Trophy last year. He's an elite player and prospect, and I think he'll be a star. Name me one cornerback that's covering Devontae Smith in the NFC East. Name me one. I can't think of one. You want Bradbury, James Bradbury maybe? That's maybe. I don't know, man. I think that was a huge pickup. They had a decent draft as well all around. So good for the Eagles, man. But then we got we'll move into the losers. So we got the Texans. They actually didn't even start their draft until the third round because they didn't have first or second round picks. So that's a problem already. You're already a loser for being 3 rounds behind. And then you got, you got some decent players here and there. But Watson might not even play this year. So you picked up Davis Mills, I want to say his name is, out of Stanford. Yeah, no, I don't think he'll be a day one starter. If Watson can't play, I really don't know, man. The Texans are a mess right now. They have no defense. They're in this tricky situation with Watson and everything. It's a mess down there in Houston, man. But then let's go to losers number 2. We got the Giants. And listen, I already said it. I love their first 2 draft picks. It was a great draft for them if it ended after round 2. But I don't want to harp on it too much, but you had O-linemen, offensive linemen, starter caliber players in that draft from round 3 to 4 to 5, and you passed on all of them. That's just unacceptable to me. That's why I got to put you in the losers category. Now, incoming hot take: Kirk Cousins is on this loser list, and that's because the Vikings drafted Kellen Mond out of Texas A&M, I believe, quarterback. I think, here's where the hot take comes in, by the end of the year, Cousins will shit the bed. They won't be in the playoff contention, and they'll make the switch. And Kellen Mond will show some good things, and he'll be the starter going into next year. So ring it in. That's what I think for the hot take. I don't see Cousins being with the Vikings anymore. He has a bloated contract. He's been there 4 years, hasn't really produced much. I think we knew what this was. He was gonna be good. He was gonna compete, but he wasn't gonna take it to that next level. I think we all knew that. And for them to keep signing him over and over $90 million deals, you're wasting money, man. That's a bad pick for me overall. Then we got Taysom Hill. I'm gonna say Taysom Hill's starting to lose his job a little bit. I think it's gonna be coming to the end for him. Maybe not this year fully, but by next year, I don't see any chance of having him be quarterback at all. You got Jameis Winston on a 1-year deal. He'll try and prove it this year. If so, that's the starter. If not, they drafted Ian Book out of Notre Dame. He'll be a great. Let me not slow down a little bit. He'll be a good player because I think Sean Payton can develop him. I don't know if he'll be the next Drew Brees, but I think he has a chance to be a good player considering the position and situation he's in. If you get what I'm saying. If Ian Book went to the Jets, there you go. He's not even going to be a starter for his career. But the fact that he went to the Saints, he could learn a little under Sean Payton. It could be good for him. And let's finish up with my last loser. The New York Jets receiver Jamison Crowder. Unfortunately, with the Jets with the Jets signing 2 receivers in free agency, Corey Davis, Keelan Cole, and then drafting a primarily slot receiver in Elijah Moore, who should be starting right away. I just don't see a fit for Jamison Crowder. I truly don't. I think he'll be traded by the end of the offseason, going into preseason probably. I don't see a fit anymore. I think they got Mims, Davis, and Elijah Moore, be a starting 3 to go into the season. I think that's how it should be. You got a young quarterback, let him build with the young guys. And like I said, I love what they're doing. I love what they're building, and just keep doing it, man. But that'll wrap up this episode of Russo's NFL Rundown. here on Russo's Playbook. You could subscribe, like, and comment on YouTube. You can check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and you can also check out our blogs we put out almost daily on russosplaybook.com. And we'll catch you guys again next Sunday.